Morning, welcome to your Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's get to the situation with Ukraine and Russia. And let's just talk about this for a second. You now have a lot of U.S. senators, Rob Portman including one of them because he's supposedly of Ukrainian descent and everything else like that, beating the drums, saying we need to send the aircraft from Poland into Ukraine so they can use those. Now, these are outdated MiGs, so I'm not sure how much benefit they actually would be unless someone retrofitted them, which would be us at taxpayer expense, to make them effective. That's the first question. Number two, as always, they're always saying, well, we sent them Stinger missiles. We sent them anti-tank weapons. We're supplying them militarily as well as other countries. So what's the difference of adding aircraft now? We're helping them defeat the Russian invasion. So, again, you're looking at escalation. How much do we really want to escalate the Russian-Ukrainian war? And what is the benefit to us and to NATO other than potentially wearing down the Russian military, using up their equipment, costing them money? But it's also costing us money. Hell, the United States just approved, a $14 billion carve-out to one of the most corrupt nations in the world at taxpayer expense. Me and you. I don't approve of that. I want us to secure our border. I want us to get our stuff right before we go be in the world police. But that's my point of view. So what benefit is it to the United States to escalate this? Putin is already saying if those warplanes end up in Ukraine, that's a direct escalation, and those countries will be held accountable. People are saying, oh, well, we shouldn't be afraid of Putin. He's calling all the shots and everything else. Well, you know what? Prudence is pretty respectable, especially when he is a nuclear-armed power. We can reach him and he can reach us. Whether he has one nuclear bomb or 100, it doesn't matter. It only takes a couple, and hello, both countries are in a world of hurt. And that would leave us open to our enemies from South America as well as Asia. So let's think about that. So you say, okay, we don't care. Putin's a bully, and we're going to call his bluff. All right? So we send aircraft over there. They get shot down. Then what? We upgrade him? To what? At what cost? And who's going to be involved? And say Putin isn't bluffing. He then says, fine, Poland, we're going to lob a few bombs your way and see how you like that. Then that draws in NATO, theoretically. You see my point? You see where we're going? It's a matter of escalation. And all these people that are wanting to, be the chicken hawks and get us into war, to what benefit? Follow the money. That's what I say. And I would guarantee you, probably half these senators that are saying, let's do this, like Lindsey Graham and Portman and others, are connected to the war machine, the Defense Department, the arms dealers, the ones that make the bombs, the ones that make the planes. All these people are getting paid or endorsed or supported by the war machine. And who else makes more money in war than the people that make the bombs, the aircrafts, the Javelin missiles, and all that other kind of stuff? Who makes that? All the people that these are supporting these senators. Now, that's my opinion, but I would pretty much guess Raytheon, donates a lot of campaign money to these war hawks. So I want you to think about that. And now you're seeing all this stuff. Well, we supply the small arms, let's supply the big arms, and it's a matter of escalation and whether Putin is bluffing or not. That's the question. It's like poker. Does he have the full house? Does he have the flush? Does he have the straight? And you say, I'm going all in. That's the key right there. When the cards turn over, did you make a good call or did you just go bust? And when I was playing poker, that was a lot of questions. And I quit playing poker when I lost. I lost my money. A lot of it. And I said, I should have won, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. I didn't. And I lost. I made a bad call. Can we afford that? Can we afford going to war with Russia or potentially China or both? I say no. It's finding out now some of this so-called bombing and quoting and everything else from the Ukraine people aren't really true. Some of these quotes to Zelensky aren't really true. There's no evidence. This hospital that was supposedly for maternity hospital, after OAN investigates and the reporters investigated and talking to the people in the area, it had been abandoned for 2 months. It was used for military headquarters, reorganization. There was no people in there other than military, and that makes it a legitimate target. But they're blaming it on Russia to stir up the emotions. Another corruption deal. We have to be very careful. We have to take care of ourselves. And these people that are being chicken hawks and everything else are not being truthful as to who is supporting them. If Portman says, yeah, I'm getting campaign donations, and he divulges that from Raytheon and all these other places, then how much credibility would his heritage actually have? Now, if he says, I'm not receiving one dime from the Defense Department, and I am doing it because I still have family in Ukraine, and I still have friends in Ukraine, and I'm going to do this, well, Senator Portman, I feel for you. When you are done in office, go over there, if the war's still going on, and fight or contribute. But don't sit here in the comfort of your home and say, we're going to send our sons and daughters. You are. When you have a son, when you were supporting the Marriage Act and you found out he was homosexual, you suddenly threw everybody else down the drain. And fortunately, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of gay marriage. That saved your ass, because otherwise you and Kasich would have betrayed the sanctity of marriage for the sake of your gay son. So I don't trust you. And there's a lot of these senators I don't trust at all. And they're going to be separated out as to who is going to stand for America and for the right of America and put America first. Because the wheat's going to be separated from the chaff throughout the country. And there's going to be a reckoning. And if the Republicans take the House and Senate and they do nothing, which they have a tendency to do because they're spineless, gutless wonders, they're going to be thrown out too. And we're going to start all over. And I'm in favor of that. Now, that's just my thoughts this morning. It is extremely cold outside here in Ohio. We're hovering around 0. So I've been looking up prices of livestock and everything else. And man, I got to work more hours. That's expensive. But that's time for another day. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Get yourself right with God. And when I say that, that means ask for forgiveness of your sins and get baptized, submerged in water. That's scripturally based. I'm not just making that up. Thank you. Greg out.